Blossom, what's that?
In previous videos, we talked that Gravity Falls, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, the Owl House, and Amphibia take place in the same world, and two of these series also share a timeline. New clues have been found that would be pointing out that the multiverse in certain Disney animated series is not a silly theory, now it can be a fact. This time, we are going to talk only about Amphibia and the Owl House, since in both series, there is evidence that can confirm the conspiracy as true. Be part of the video by commenting the world emoji if you think the theory is true. Leave the clown emoji if you think that everything I show today is just coincidences or references. Comment which character is this one. The answers will be in the next video. Amphibia and the Owl House contain references to each other. Such connections can be taken as simple references. Some people take it as a commercial for the company's content. Whether one or the other, the point is that we see details that connect perfectly with both series. Let's mention some simple references as examples. In the scenes where we see Hunter's room, we see that under the pillow there is a Sprig stuffed animal. When Willow is at home, we see that her parents have an interesting book with Hop Pop on the cover. In the episode where Luz asks Amity to be her girlfriend, we see that in the basement of Edelin's house, there is a Calamity Box hidden among all the junk that the Owl Lady keeps. This is just a little bit of the bunch. I could go on and on mentioning references, but I don't think that's the case. Leaving that aside, let's talk about the multiverse that exists in the world of Disney's animated series, in which Amphibia and the Owl House are highly involved. Let's start by talking about the basics. How do you travel into the multiverse? Thanks to these movies that talk about venturing into the multiverse, we know perfectly well that to enter the multiverse, you need a portal. Now that we know this, and if we look for something similar in both series, it will quickly come to mind that there is a magical object that works quite similarly. In the Owl House, we have the magic door that Edelin found many years ago. This door is a magical portal. During the series, she has made it very clear since Eda mentions that she has traveled to different dimensions and planets. One of these planets was the human world where she married Uncle Stan in Las Vegas. I'll leave you a video in the pinned comment where I explain everything. I will also leave you another video where I will show you that Edelin has a hidden son, and the father may be Stan. In Amphibia, there is also a magical object, the Calamity Box. This little box is a portal that transported Anne, Sasha, and Marcy to the Frog's Land. By the words of King Andreas in that last episode of the second season, the Calamity Box was very important to his kingdom because they used it to transport themselves to new planets which were conquered.
My ancestors used it to visit entirely different worlds. They were peaceful explorers, scientists if you will.
Now, let's see if in the planets that exist in the multiverse, there is something that connects them from one to the other. Curiously, in both series, they have many clues that prove that they have made trips to new planets and have returned telling what they saw there. In the scenes where Anne and her friends arrive at the kingdom of King Andreas, he shows a book containing insider information. The book reveals that the 4 planets connect directly to the planet of Amphibia. The world in the middle of the 4 planets is the planet where Hop Pop, Sprig, and Polly live. The planet that has the line pointing to an unknown point is the planet of the humans where Anne, Sasha, and Marcy come from. The planet next to it is rumored to be where Edelin, King Hooty, and the rest of the family live. Carefully analyzing things, you find that there is a gigantic possibility that the rumor is true. What stands out the most about this planet is its water. It has a peculiar purple with pink colored water. One thing that is natural and stands out in the world of the Owl House is the color of the water. It is purple and pink. In such a way that this information exists, it means that the people from the kingdom of Andreas have gone to such planets with the purpose of exploring these new worlds and return to the kingdom carrying privileged data. The interesting interesting thing is that to make the trip to the other places, they used a magical object that could transport people to these planets. It is possible that this object was the Calamity Box, because Andreas said they had the magic box under their power for many, many years. While in Owl House, it is 100% possible for a human to go to the Boiling Isles and return to their place of origin. Also, the characters that inhabit the dark world of Owl House can travel to the human world. Now we go to the human world where Anne and her friends and Luz come from. On this planet, we see that certain people are aware that there is a multiverse where there are planets that are extremely strange and dangerous, to which very few people can travel to. One of these characters is seen in Amphibia. Anne and the kids go to a laboratory of a scientist who is obsessed with the multiverse. The scientist even invented a magical portal to enter the universe and travel to worlds that are unknown to humans, and has also proof that these mysterious places exist. In this same chapter, we are shown proof. When Anne and the scientist are talking, we see that on one of the screens of her laboratory, a photo of Idalin's house is seen. Although this photo does not look very good, it is obvious that this house is Ida's. It is totally unmistakable. This means that Dr. Frakes is in one way or another knew the Boiling Islands and took a picture of the house of the Owl Lady as evidence that this world exists. But for being a place extremely distant from where the scientist was located and not having the proper equipment, the photo does not look good. In the last chapter of the second season of the Owl House, it is seen that Luz and her friends return to the world of humans through the portal that Emperor Belos recreated. It is then that the guys go to Luz's house. At this moment, something totally spectacular was about to happen. In that small instant, we see Luz's mother cooking next to a tablet. And from what we can see, she is reading the news of the day. This news is about Anne, the main character of Amphibia. The headline of this news says, "Girl lost in Frogland?" Also, below it says, "Hoax?" Do you know what this means? Yes! They practically revealed to us that Amphibia and the Owl House share timelines and take place in the same world! This newscast covered all or part of the news. To do this logically, they had to interview Anne, and she had to answer questions that the reporter asked her. And at the end of the interview, they took a picture of her to place it in the report. The news was so big that it went viral, reaching Camilla's hands. In real life, we also found a fact that is curious and leaves you thinking that everything I just said is not a gigantic reference or coincidence. The release date of the last chapter of both series would be pointing out that they are indeed connected in every way we can imagine. The two episodes premiered in the same month, but on a different date and in different years. The Season 2 finale of Amphibia is called True Colors and was released on May 22nd, 2021. And the final episode of The Owl House, called King's Tide, was released on May 28, 2022. Disney took the trouble to release the two chapters in the same month, and the end of both chapters end up returning to the human world. This can be interpreted that Disney is trying to imply something slyly, and this would be that these series share the same timeline. Part of their story and their respective series takes place in the world of humans. Whether you want to accept it or not, the two series are connected in every way possible, and the evidence of this was this whole video. This time, I tried not to mention the clues that show that both series contain with Star versus the Forces of Evil and Gravity Falls, making it possible that the character of the mentioned stories can travel to other planets of the multiverse. An example of this is Star's dimensional scissors that allows creating portals to go to other dimensions. I invite you to watch a video where we talk about that. The link will be in the first comment. Even Amphibia also feeds this possible reality, because in True Colors, when Marcy is reading the Book of Calamity, we see Bill Cipher, the main villain of Gravity Falls. This book is not just any book, it is the one that contains information about magical things. It turns out that this character is very powerful and had the ability to enter the multiverse. I believe this is why he's in the book. This tells us that characters from all 4 series can come and go to the human planet and other planets in the multiverse. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on this conspiracy. Greetings to everyone who commented in the previous video. I'm Ciara, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!